Welcome again. Another day, another thing to learn. So, yeah, I'm glad to have you here. Today we're just gonna learn, and I'm going to explain you how to can mew correctly and properly, and just guarantee that you're gonna achieve improvements in your facial structure, which that's what most people want to know how to do. That's getting very mainstream nowadays. So, and again, it's just essential for health because it's so important. And I want to start this video by saying that I want to clarify that I'm just using the term mewing for the sake of this video because it's a term that most people are familiar with now. Because it's become kind of a meme nowadays. But it's uh this video is targeted about just correcting your anatomy and just learning how to improve your structure in your face and your posture and your body, who is going to allow you to develop that facial structure that's desirable because you're fixing your body. So it's just a matter of fixing the anatomy as a whole, the body, and restoring it to the way it's meant to be. So that's what I'm gonna be talking about. But yes, it involves mewing, but it's not just putting your tongue on the roof of the mouth, which is what most people nowadays think. It's just like you just have to stick your tongue to the roof of the mouth, and that's it. And it's so much more than that. It takes the whole body, and it just has so many other areas that are not being talked about because people don't know about them. So I think it's so important to know about this stuff. I think it's so essential, and that's why I'm here. I want to tell you guys because I just want to make it known. Health anatomy is just crucial for the health of every individual, and it's going to prevent so many health problems, so many problems that could target people in the future, and use any sort of chronic illness or disease or any problem that can just really affect people's lives. This is absolutely essential, not just for the looks of it, which I know most people really think about, and that's one of the main focuses that people think nowadays. But it's just health, and health equals look. So if you're healthy, if you have the correct and healthy anatomy, it's gonna look good because it's the way you are meant to be. It's the one that you're meant to have. It's the one that's gonna allow you to have the body that's going to work the best and just be healthy. So with that being said, yeah, this is gonna be a big talk. Just I'm gonna explain you guys everything. Like if you just were with me here having a chat, just like the ones I do when I help people. Have it down below in my link. You can just schedule a book call with me if you want to have this kind of appointment and just help you with your specific situation. This is what I do basically. Help people improve their bodies, just like this one, and achieve the correct anatomy, which is gonna look the best, and you will feel the best because it's a healthy one. But that's for just for the people who are interested. But I wanna just explain you everything you need to know here so that you can make that change. So that's just for whoever wants a bit. Now let's start with this. I explained you guys in my previous video about insertions, how different posture and how changing that into the correct way is going to significantly change the way your body looks, the way their insertions are, and it's gonna look better. I gave this example of myself, how these have changed my insertions and my anatomy, and how I've learned about this stuff with countless years of, quite a couple of years of practice and just learning and studying, and how people are able to develop a body like this, and which is the one that looks good because it's more optimal. And I briefly talked about how changing the body and the posture is going to affect the craniofacial side of it, how the structure of the face is going to change because it has to adapt. I'm sure most people that are watching this video, you guys are probably familiar with just how mouth breathing just negatively affects the development of the face, because depending on your actions and your situation, your body is going to have to adapt. So if you start breathing through your mouth, because of gravity, because of just having your mouth open, is going to have to adapt to that, and your posture is going to change, and your body is going to change accordingly. So by doing that action that is not optimal, which is that of breathing through your mouth, because your mouth is not meant for you to breathe through it. So that unoptimal action is going to develop into an suboptimal just anatomy. and that's what you see when people start breathing through their mouth, and their maxilla drops, and pro- problems occur because the airway is compromised, the posture and the anatomy changes, so you develop all kind of problems, from neck pain to sleep disturbances to neurological situations that are very complex, because if especially if it starts from a young age and a kid doesn't have enough oxygen to breathe and doesn't have enough rest that's good quality because they have some sort of sleep apnea, it just goes beyond just the looks of it. It's completely going to disrupt the development of that child's brain, and it's going to develop into lots of problems, such as you've seen ADHD and all these problems that are so-called genetic. They're just a lack of health. Every single problem that's a health problem is just because of a lack of health. It's not just a genetic trait that you're born with. That's never the case. That's just not possible. It's just part of the environment. And whoever kid that's born with some problem, then you have to remember that life starts at the womb. Wherever that kid endures when it's in the womb of the mother is going to develop into whatever problem they may have, and it starts with the parents' health, and then it transcends. So first you have to understand that if you want to make changes, you need to know that it's our actions that are going to develop into the way we're living, the way we look, because our anatomy is going to have to develop. That's why people say, for example, I mean, again, if you know about mewing, you know that's the optimal way. And if you start young, I mean, most people say if you start young, you're not going to develop crooked teeth, you're going to have a wet maxilla, and it's going to be forwardly grown. The case is, you don't have to be young. Like, your body is going to continue to adapt whatever age you are. It's true when you are young, because you are growing, it's going to be a much rapid rate, but still you are always going to be able to see changes because your body is always adapting. So you can always improve. You're always getting either better or worse. All the time, your body is always adapting and always changing. So if you do the right habits, you're going to continue to get better. If you do the bad habits, you're going to start getting worse. You are never ever in the same position. So always understand that. So what we're trying to do here is to develop those good habits that are going to allow us to restructure our body into the way it's meant to be, the correct way. And now today we're going to focus on the face and the facial structure. So I'm talking a lot, I know, but I just get really passionate about this. I think such important topics, and I just want you guys to get as much knowledge as you can from this. So if you really are interested in this, stick here, take a notebook, just watch the video entirely, because I'm just gonna be giving you everything you need to know. So let's start with this. Again, why are maxillas just drop down and recess? Because that's the problem we're trying to fix. You want to improve this. You want to improve a recessed maxilla because it looks bad, because it's going to develop into a lot of health issues. And you want to know how to mew, because that's the video, right? So you want to know how to mew because mewing is apparently the way to do it. Which, yeah, you want to have your tongue in the roof of the mouth. That's the way it's going to allow you to get that forward growth, to reposition the maxilla to the correct position. So you're probably gonna start just thinking, okay, I'm gonna start suctioning my tongue in the roof of my mouth, pushing my maxilla with my tongue, and you're gonna spend countless hours in the day just consciously thinking about that. Trust me, I've been there, man. I know exactly how it's like. And let me tell you, I've done that. I've spent years doing that, and it's a waste of time. Don't waste your time on that, because you cannot consciously just push your tongue with your maxilla through the whole day. Well, I mean, you can, but it's not necessary. It's not optimal. You don't have to, and it's not going to allow you to have the best results you can, because it's just not the way. When we're looking at here, when you're looking to resolve the problems here, you don't have to just look here. Look at the entire picture. you cannot just target one single area of your body without targeting the rest, because if you change something in here, something's gonna change here. You if you do something in one part of the body, it's going to translate into effects in another part, because the body is one as a whole. You cannot just individualize each specific area. So we have to understand that, and once we look at the body as a whole, we understand, okay, what's happening here. So a lot of people have the conclusion that, okay, you are not mewing because, well, there's so many factors involved. One of them, they say mouth breathing, poor posture, soft foods, which they're all true. They're all very true. Even, not breastfeeding a child when they're growing up, or just not exercising, or not lacking, just the clenching, the chewing masseter muscles, and all this stuff, which is relevant for sure. But I used to focus a lot about that. Trust me, I know. And I've looked into the whole appliances, MSC, palette expanders, and just to. I should have brought that picture. I don't have one right now, but. I was gonna do that, but yeah, I forgot to put it right here. But I literally spent years just. I had a palette expander, and I would make my own appliance with a protraction face mask to help it grow forward. Bro, don't waste your time on that. Trust me, I've done that. You can move your maxilla like that, but it's just not natural. It's going to develop into bigger problems because you're just trying to manipulate it in ways that are not optimal, that are not natural. And what we're trying to do is bring it back to the natural state, because that's the one that it's the right one. And your body, it's always going to want to go to the right position. Your body knows how it's meant to be. Your body understands nature. It's us that's going to make the grown decisions who is going to affect that in a negative manner. It's the modern lifestyles in which we're living that's not ideal, and that's developing these problems. So for example, if you are informed about these topics, you know that if you create room in your palate by expanding the maxilla, and there's room for the teeth, they are naturally going to align together because they know where they are meant to be. They want to be in that correct position. But the reason why they're crooked is because there's not enough space. Why is there not enough space? It's because the maxilla is depressed, is retracted, and as the face lengthens, it gets narrower. As you can, where is it? Yeah. So like you can see here, right? The face lengthens, the mandible gets retracted, the maxilla drops down, the mandible has to follow. So lots of problems, and you want to go from here to here, right? And that's what you hear about mewing, and you will. But first, we have to target the posture. That's the first thing, because the maxilla is retracted. Why? Because if you've seen this picture, most of us, pretty much all of us, we are retracting our heads because of our poor posture. The poor posture that we developed because of our sedentary lives. We are not moving. We are not living the life that we were once meant to have. We were meant to just go out in the world, have sunlight, and then walk, hunt, just work. And now all that we're doing is just being lazy. Just spending our time scrolling on these devices, laying at bed, sitting at our computer, and just doing nothing. That's literally most of us nowadays. And we have to change that. No wonder why we have these problems. No wonder why we have these deformed bodies, because we're not using them correctly. And I'm sorry if I'm using very strong words, but that's just the case. And I need to be clear with you guys if I want to help you. So yeah, again, I get passionate about this stuff because I'm such a nerd for this, and I understand the importance of it, and I just want to help you. I want to help you to improve that, because it's such a big part of our lives. More health is just gonna completely change the way you live, because if you have a good health, if you feel good, you look good, life changes completely. And I know right now with the whole black pill, and people are just thinking about looks just because, that's how people perceive you. And look, again, looks equals health. People want to be with healthy people because they generally just feel better, and they show that. If you feel better, you act better to other people. Just think of the last time you were sleep deprived. You went to sleep super late, you ate a lot of junk, and you were just in a bad, not healthy state. I can assure you that you probably felt grumpy. You don't have a good night of sleep, you get like annoyed pretty easily. You're not in a good mood. You have a good night of sleep, you're eating well, you're doing exercise, you feel great, and you talk with other people. You show that. It's noticeable in you. But again, it's all about health, man. And people sometimes can just think of health as in eating right and just doing exercise. But again, looks is health anatomy, and that's so important. Again, the forward growth of the face is for the airway to have a space in order to breathe. That's just health. Having the correct posture, that's gonna allow you to have, again, that correct craniofacial growth, and it's gonna require you to have strength in a specific area, such as the core and the legs, the glutes, everywhere. And that's developed through movement, through exercise, and we need to achieve that. So okay, I'll start talking less and just getting more straight to the point. I'm sorry if I'm doing a lot of rants, but I just want to help you guys and just give you as much information. But I'll start again with just simplifying everything. So first, we're retracting our heads. As you can see, most people think they have forward head posture, which it's literally not the case. It's not the case. For example, somebody will say, "Oh, this is forward head posture." But it's not, because if you look at the whole picture, the head relative to the body, it's back. It's not even forward. If we were to draw a line, which I don't have one right now, but just bear with me. Just you go down here, you can see how the face is back, and you're retracting the face by going like that, and you have this big arch in your neck, which is going to damage it, all the nerves around it, and just lead to neck pain and problems. And again, all these problems of pain, in knee pain, lower back pain, and neck pain, it's all incorrect posture, and you want to help that, you want to fix that, and that is how you do it. So you see all this arch that people supposedly say that it's a healthy spine arch, which again, false. It's not the case. This is going to develop lower back problems because the pelvis is rotated. Why? Because we're sitting all the time. We're not moving, we're not sprinting, we're barely walking. And if we walk, we don't even know the proper way to walk, because we don't ever utilize these muscles that are essential by walking. We just throw one leg in front of the other, and then just however we're able to. And if our bodies are not in the correct position, then we're not gonna walk accordingly. And it's going to show because our body is not in the ideal state. So that's things we need to learn how to fix. So first of all is understanding the problem. We want to stop retracting our heads and start correcting our posture, such as here. In this image, I am mewing, what you will call mewing. But I rather say I have the correct and optimal posture that's going to allow my body to correct itself. So by having this correct posture, by stop rotating my pelvis back and just bring it to the correct position, to the neutral position, that's going to allow my legs to be in front of my torso and have the weight of my torso in the back of my legs. And then by doing the same with the ribcage and just rotate it into the neutral position, it's going to align well the spine. That's going to stretch the back as much as it can and have a straight core and straight back. That's going to allow my neck to be straight. And I'm telling you, for this you have to have a core strength. And again, I talked about this in my video about insertions, but you're going to have core strength and just fix those areas that are very neglected here, that are very weak. So work on those areas and correct your posture first. Now that you correct your posture, you're going to be able to have this straight neck. And this is very important. Watch this. straight neck, straight forehead, which is gonna allow your eyes to be deeper set. That's what everybody wants, those hunter eyes. Everybody's meant to have hunter eyes. They look good because that means that your eyes are deeper set. They're well protected from any sort of danger, because you don't want to get your eyes just hit with something. You want to have them well protected because I don't know you guys, but I think being able to see is a very important thing in order to survive. So it's important in nature. We wanna. I mean, if you see any other animal, they always have. I mean, especially hunter and like animals who hunt. That's why they're called hunter eyes. But they have this eyes. The ears are meant to have. Look at this. I want you to see this. The ears are higher, are relatively high, compared to the eyes. That's what you will see with other animal. I don't have any images right now, but that's important. That's gonna give you that look. You see those again, pumas or like cats or wherever, and they have their ears like here, right? And then you can see they have like such positive causal field and just very good eye area. It's the same with this, but you are just gonna be able to develop that once you correct your whole body posture, and then your neck is going to just go there automatically and be straight. And then now that you're in this posture, you can actually accurately give a analysis to your face and understand what are the areas that are wrong, where the problem is at. Because when you see here, you can clearly tell how the maxilla is dropped down. It's lengthened. Because everything else is in the optimal state, so you are able to give a proper analysis, and you say, okay, I can see here how the maxilla should be somewhere here, should be up and forward, but it's not. So now I understand the problem is not here. Everything else is good. And now that you develop this good posture, your body is going to have to adapt to it. So it's going to be forced to recomposition itself, to restructure the facial structure, and it's going to do that counterclockwise rotation that everybody wants. That it's going to go up and forward, and it's going to have to restructure the facial structure of it. And once you achieve this good body and you start working on it, and you notice that one thing that I talked in my previous video about how to know you're mewing correctly, you're gonna feel once you work on that and you have this posture, I assure you, you're going to feel how your tongue automatically just pushes on your maxilla. You're gonna feel that pressure. It's just gonna stick there and just gonna find its home there, and it's gonna want to move that facial structure forward and up to the way it's meant to be. And whenever you have your mouth closed and you have this proper posture of your body, again, your neck is gonna be straight, and your tongue automatically, without you thinking, it's just gonna suction on your palate, and it's going to be putting that pressure that's gonna expand your maxilla and move it forward. And that's what I showed you in the last video right here. This is going to happen. That pressure that your tongue is exerting is gonna be noticeable, because you're gonna feel that vacuum in your mouth. And once you open it, you're gonna see how your tongue has marked the palate on it because of all that suction, all that pressure. And you can notice, and all the surrounding, like, you'll just feel how your tongue is literally just glued to your palate, and it doesn't want to go away. It's just, you like, literally, you don't want to open your mouth because it feels like it has glue on it, and you have to consciously like make the effort to open it, and that's when it's going to open. And you're gonna see this when you first open it, that there's your teeth marked on your tongue. And it's just exactly the same case. I don't know if you guys have ever had like a pet or a dog, especially a dog, and you ever try to open their mouth, you'll see this is what you'll find. Their tongue has the same thing. That's why any other animal, like I've told you, I've talked about it before, but any other animal in nature, they just look beautiful. They look great because they are in nature. They live accordingly as to what they are meant to live. Because unlike humans, we humans, unlike animals, we can make our own decisions. We have free will. So we can choose if we want to be lazy or not. We can choose if we want to stay at bed or not. We can make all these decisions, and they're gonna have a repercussion, an effect. We're gonna have to be accountable of their responsibility. So if we choose to be lazy and not work out and just eat junk and have a sedentary life, a life that's not optimal, again, we're gonna develop into this incorrect posture. But an animal doesn't have the privilege to make those choices. An animal just lives accordingly. It's just an animal. It just lives in nature. And in, like I said, in nature, you'll never, ever, ever will see an animal with crooked teeth ever, because again, they just live optimally. And if you open a dog's mouth, you'll see this. And again, it's the same case. It's because the tongue, it's just suction properly on the palate, and that palate is keeping the structure of the animal just in the correct position, and it's just making sure that there's the palate is just wide and it has space for all the teeth, and just keeps that width and just allows it to be in the correct posture. So this is a very, very important metric to have, and one that you can tell that if you're doing things correctly. So again, just like the dogs, when we open our mouth after we've just had it shut down and we're actually mewing and we have the correct posture, you'll notice that. And if you don't, then you are not making progress. And if you don't, it's just most likely because you have this posture when you're resting. Because you can try to have this posture, but the thing we're trying to do is to go from this resting posture into this one. This is the posture that we are meant to have when we're resting, when we are not thinking about it. That's what we're working towards. And that's developed through habits and to working on the correct areas. But again, the first thing is being mindful. Understand what correct posture is. Go at the mirror and work on it. Try to look at these two images and try to mimic this one. Rotate your pelvis. You're gonna have to flex your glute a bit and then your core and bring it to the correct position, and just try to mimic this in the mirror. And once you understand and you feel that good position, you feel how the tongue is just gonna stick in your mouth and the roof of the mouth in the maxilla, and work on that and do that over and over again and understand how that feels. And after that, just try to consciously just have that posture whenever you can. When you're walking, try to avoid this rotation of the hips and of the pelvis, and try to never flare out your rib cage, but try to always keep them neutrally. And as you progress with that and you put that effort in, your body is gonna have to adapt to those habits, and you're gonna have to just naturally just rest like that. So the first thing is being conscious of it and work on it consciously. But you consciously work on the posture, not in just pushing your tongue in the roof of the mouth. You work on the posture consciously, and again, understand, okay, am I lacking strength in some areas? That's why my posture is bad. Am I lacking flexibility? Am I lacking just movement overall? So you make those analyses, and I can make them for you again for the people who want it. But I know most people are not gonna be able to work with me. So for the people who work with me, I'll tell you all this stuff and I'll just tell you what to do so that you can make that change and just correct your body. But for the people who just are gonna take this video and just do it by themselves again, just analyze yourself and say, okay, where am I lacking? Because you can tell. I mean, you can analyze yourself. I cannot do it for you if I don't see you. But some people maybe have a weak core, some people weak neck, which I think most of the people that I see is weak core, weak neck, weak glutes. But again, some people have different postures. Some people may have problem. Yeah, there's different postures, unoptimal postures that you can have. Some people have something like this or like this, you know. So it depends each specific situation, but do an analysis and understand what you have to work on and achieve that ideal posture, and that's going to allow you to get that rotation and that forward growth that you're looking for. I wanted to show you some samples. I'm sure, I mean, probably most of you guys know these guys, Jeff Said. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but just a recognized fitness figure. And I remember when I once was getting into fitness, I would see this guy and be like, damn, like those inserters are just like so good. before I understand about this stuff. But after studying a lot about anatomy, I realized like again, just the same as the face and the body, correcting your posture and being on the optimal position is gonna allow you to look good, and it's not genetics. That's why people with good body insertions, which people call them just genetics, they also have most of the time good craniofacial growth. Bro, you've never seen someone who's like super recessed with a super recessed maxilla with bad posture that has excellent muscle insertions. That's just not possible. So understand, it's not genetics, man. It's not genetics. Based our posture and our habits and our lifestyle, that's gonna determine the way we look. For example, this person started working out like at very young age, like 11 years old, like working out well, and very into sports, running a lot, doing a lot of activity, and just developing that ideal body. If you see his dad, doesn't look alike. But it's the habits that he builds that allow him to look like that. And especially starting at a young age when your body is developing the most. But that doesn't mean that's the only way. Again, your body's always changing and you can always improve your posture. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna tell me that, okay, yeah, this is one thing. People say you cannot change your facial structure after past a certain age. But again, your body is always going to adapt to whatever position you're in. Again, people give examples of, for example, I believe it was, I don't want to be a bit ignorant, but I think it was Steve Hawkins. Oh, I don't know. I'm actually not gonna search that up. But yeah, the guy that had like this problem on his face, and then like he had to use the wheelchair, and then like everything just melted. And I mean, there's countless examples of that. And where is this? Oh yeah, there's countless examples of that, and you can see your body's always changing, and you can just, if you see an old person, the older they get, the longer their face gets, the worse their posture gets, because they start moving less. I'm sure you'll see it. I see it in my grandparents. I see it in a lot of other people, and that's where their health keeps deteriorating, and eventually they develop all these health problems. Which people are like, it's just the age. But you can prevent that. You can definitely prevent that, and the same is happening with us. But it's just that we're starting from such a young age, because most kids nowadays, they just get like a phone, an iPad, or some console, and they don't move at all. They are like using devices all day, and they are lacking movement. And because that lack of movement, they develop poor posture that then develops into bad health anatomy, and they develop all these problems like a lot earlier in their age, in their life, which is just bad. It's not good to see, man, and it's going to very affect the quality of their lives in general, and the things they can do, and the work that can be done. So yeah, that's why I'm so passionate about this, bro. I just want to help you, and I just want to put the word out there, because people don't talk about this stuff, because it's preventative. If you prevent the problems, these big industries are not gonna be able to just keep people treating them, and then like keep them relying on them to buy their products, their pharmaceutics, their drugs, and that's billions and billions of dollars in that industry that some people get benefited from it. So I don't want to get too political on that way. I just want to help you guys. So again, the people who are able to develop these bodies with good insertions are the same people who are doing the right habits and the right stuff. And if, again, like I give them the example of good posture, I want you to see the same. So, for example, Jeff said that, like I said, very, very good insertions overall, and very good forward craniofacial growth. So, if you want to improve your facial structure, you have to understand, like I said here, these are the metrics you want to have. First, correct your body posture, like I mentioned, with the pelvis and the rib cage, and work on the undeveloped areas. Your neck has to be straight. Your ears have to be at eye level, if not even higher, and the forehead had to be straight. And then if you are trying to work on it, then obviously your maxilla is gonna be underdeveloped, and just this part is not gonna be ideal. But that's okay, because by developing the correct posture, this, like I mentioned before, automatically is going to restructure itself. But the thing is that it's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable at first to change your posture. And again, every single person can change their posture if they work on it by changing their habits and their lifestyle. No matter how old you are, no matter if you are 20 or 30 or 40, no matter, you don't have to be a kid, you don't have to be an infant to be able to do this. Obviously, like I said, if you are in the growing stage, it's gonna be much faster and it's better. But every single person is changing. Like I said, the older you get, you see most people, they getting older, their face are like melting down. It's for the same reasons, because they start moving less. They're like, oh, I gotta chill now, because I've worked too much, and now I'm just gonna relax and stop moving and stop doing work, start living more sedentarily, and that's when their faces start like melting down and their posture deteriorates. But we can prevent that by doing the right things, the right habits, and this is gonna benefit every single person. Every single person can take this something away from this video and can learn from this. Every single person is gonna get benefited from restoring their body to the correct anatomy. Again, so important. It's gonna help your health, and therefore, as an outcome, it's gonna give you better looks. So again, every single person has the potential to look like this. Obviously, genetics is a thing. That's why some people, again, different hair color, different eye color, people have just different characteristics that makes them unique. But the anatomy itself, it should be the anatomy itself. There's one optimal human anatomy, and it's something like this one. Every single person has the potential to look like a human being, like an optimal human being. Okay, that's what I want you to understand, and you can too. If you don't want to believe it, it's your choice, man. Like, I'm just giving you the stuff here. But I want you to understand, every single person has the ability to look like this. And look, I'm speaking from experience. I was like this, and I thought it was genetics. I was like, oh, okay, how about genetics, Too bad. What am I going to do? That's what I heard. But yeah, I just kept looking. I didn't give up. I was like, okay, I'm actually not satisfied with this answer. I need to find more. I need to understand the real cause. I'm not just gonna let somebody tell me it's just your genetics. Like, it's not possible. Some people are born with it, some people are not. No. But I looked further into it, and I studied, took time and effort and experimented and worked on it. And again, now that I understood this stuff, I was able to make this change and did something that simulates more into that. Of course, I still have a long way to go. But again, you realize the changes are possible, and you just keep making them. Just gonna take some time, because it took you time to develop into the body that you're in right now. But it's possible. It's so possible. And this change, I could have made it so much faster and so much more ideally if I understood what I know now. But again, that took time and effort, and that's the learning process. But I can help you guys now with it. So that's why I'm sharing this, and that's why I work with people. And again, if you are interested in that, just go down below and I'll chat with you, bro. I'll help you with this. No problem, bro. I'll guarantee you that you can make that change. But again, looking at this, you can see good forward growth, good insertions of the muscles, correct anatomy. You can see very wide maxilla, completely good facial structure, and the teeth has a very wide smile, very wide palate. You look at the side, and this is exactly, again, the posture that I'm talking about. This is an optimal posture that we talked about. This is here. You're rotating the rib cage and the pelvis, and that's because, again, some ligaments are just very tight because we don't move. We're sitting all day, we don't stretch, we don't have mobility, so work on that. And once we work on that, we are allowed to just stretch the fascia all around the body and get into that optimal posture, which is what this looks like. Instead of retracting the head, we have it forward, and we move the maxilla forward and up, like just in motion. You literally can go like this from this to this. Just move your maxilla forward and up just by moving your posture. Instead of going like that and being retracted, just move it forward and up, man. Like literally, just like this. Maxilla is back and down. Here, now correct your posture, and now it's forward and up relative to the body. That's what you're trying to achieve. Again, the mandible will follow and the facial structure will improve. So again, this is the optimal posture that you want to have. Not this. Here you are retracting your face down, moving your ribcage forward, and it's not optimal. And again, the model of good posture that's promoted by just the health system, and it's wrong. People have this idea that it's genetics and they base on that. So all this information is wrong, sadly. Like I said, health system is quite sketchy. I don't want to talk too much about it right now. But again, everyone has their views, their opinions. But a lot of the stuff they're teaching is just not the right way. It's the same with the orthodontists. If you know about mewing, like you're watching this video, you know that bracers is just not the way. It's just gonna further just drag the maxilla back and down. And the same with a lot of other areas. But again, we have to focus about the whole body. So now that we look at this posture, you can see, like I said, the pelvis is rotated neutrally, and the legs are forward from the torso. The weight of the torso is behind the legs. The back is straight, the torso is straight. The arms are falling from the body. Where is it? Yeah, you don't want to have this very pronounced curvature of the arms, but you want them to fall neutrally. And again, very importantly, the neck is straight and the face is forward relative to the body. The maxilla is forward relative to the body. Now, the ears are at the eye level, if not higher, and then the forehead is straight, and that's gonna leave you that deep set eye look. And again, this is very important. You see all the good people, all the hunter eyes people, you're gonna see they have these qualities, man. It's just posture, and again, that's gonna determine your anatomy, your health, and you want to achieve the healthy anatomy. I'll give you, for example, somebody who, again, all this health equals looks. So if any person that looks bad or ugly or doesn't look optimal, is because they're lacking in these health aspects, in these health areas, and wherever bad attributes they have, it's just are reflecting their poor anatomy and health. For example, these people, I just start like ugly people, sadly, but it's just because they're not. You can tell just by looking at this person that it's not in a state of optimal health. It's unhealthy, and that's why it looks bad. And the facial structure is not genetics. It's just that it's very retracted. You can see, like I mentioned previously, the ears have to be at the eye level. Negative canthal tilt is not genetics. It's just you rotating your head, retracting it. I want you to see here. Here I'm retracting my head because of the poor posture. You can see how the ears are below the eye level. And my canthal tilt here is negative, or close to negative, because the more you go up your head, the lower your ears are, the more you're just rotating your head, and it's gonna just make your eyes look like they have a negative canthal tilt. But everyone can have a positive canthal tilt if they have their head in the correct position. Like here, now that you fix that and your ears are aligned with your eyes, now they're deeper set and they have positive canthal tilt. So again, that's important to understand. It's not the genetics, it's just the way you are positioning yourself. So here, this person is retracting their head. That's why they have that negative canthal tilt, and the eyes are not deep set. That's why the maxilla is just falling down and has this very unideal look. But it's not genetics. It's just if you saw his side profile, you will see horrible posture, and that's just the case. That's what is gonna lead to this look. But it's reversible, and you can fix it by implementing the ideas that I've just talked to you about in the exercises and the principles. Same with this one, just people. This is not genetics. You can just, once you understand this stuff, you can just see at a face and see, okay, the maxilla is just down, it's just set back, and the neck is just, it's atrophied. It doesn't have enough strength. Why? Because the posture is not ideal. It hasn't had received the amount of stimulus that it needs in order to grow. So again, this stuff is just posture. So again, just look at, I think this, from what I see, Jeff said it has one of the best. Just you can base a good idea of what the correct anatomy should look like based on this body, because again, good craniofacial growth and perfect insertions. So now you can see here again. Take this in mind. Set your posture based on this posture. Okay, try to mimic this one, and that's when you're gonna see improvement. Again, look at this. The neck is straight. So important. Again, the face has to be forward from the body. Don't listen to people don't have forward head posture. Stop listening to that. You don't have to do chin tucks, but you can have a straight neck just by correcting your posture, like we have talked about. So again, base your posture on this: flat back, flat torso, that's lengthened, being the correct position, and the ribcage is neutral. The pelvis is neutral and the legs are forward from the torso. Then neck is straight. Again, the ears are at the eye level and the forehead is straight as well. And now you can see, as the ears are high set, the gonian angle is gonna be like much near to like 90 degrees, and the ramus is gonna be way longer. And again, if you have the correct growth of the mandible, it's gonna be longer as well. And this is the same for this posture is the ideal one, and it's not just this person, but every single person that you see that has a good healthy anatomy is gonna have the same characteristics. For example, I'll give you an example of Chico, which yeah, bro, I'm sure you want to see this, because bro, most people now are like obsessed with Chico, man. Like okay, so now, like we mentioned before, the forehead is straight, the neck is straight, the ears are at the eye level. That's what makes it just look good, have that optimal look, that the eyes are deep set and they have positive canthal tilt. And again, the ramus is long and the chin is well projected and the mandible is long. And you can see as well here, his head is forward relative to his body. He doesn't have this belly sticking and this retracted head that's gonna make you look bad, and it's gonna retract your maxilla and have a suboptimal anatomy. But it's putting the maxilla in the correct position, which is gonna automatically make your tongue go to the correct position. It's gonna make you mew correctly, which that's what you were wanting to learn in this video. So mewing, don't think of mewing as just pushing the tongue in your palate, but it's correcting your whole body anatomy. That's the correct way that you should be looking at it. And I explain it to you here. So again, we're gonna have to fix this unideal body to the correct one, and we do that by changing our posture, and that we do it by changing our habits and our lifestyle. So our looks is an outcome. Our looks is an outcome from our posture, because our body has to adapt to it. So our looks is a result of our posture, and our posture is a reflection of our lifestyle and our habits. So that's what we gotta fix. So work out, be mobile, stretch, adapt this correct posture, and just follow the metrics that I talked about in this video, and you will be able to achieve the correct posture. And once you achieve that, you're gonna mew automatically. Your thong is gonna push your maxilla and you're gonna achieve that craniofacial growth that you want. If you want to guarantee that you have these results that I'm talking about, or if you're a bit confused about this stuff and you just want to just see practically how you can do it in your own specific situation, just book a call down below, bro. I'll help you with this stuff, absolutely. And I'll work with you and I'll help you achieve these results that you're looking for. Help you fix your body anatomy and your facial structure and just achieve that correct anatomy that you're meant to have, the healthy one. Again, it's not genetics. That's why you see all the attractive people have the same characteristics that I just talked about. And that's obtained by having the correct posture. You want the deep set eyes, again, you have to have your maxilla in the correct position, your head forward relative to your body, and you have to have neck straight. And like I said, the forehead is straight, which is gonna give you that deep set eye look. And once you achieve that posture, again, your craniofacial growth is going to be achieved and your face is going to restructure itself into the correct and optimal way that's going to look the best. That's why salute on this guy achieved such good results. Most people thought he was getting surgery or something, but this is a good representation of what you can achieve. And he worked on posture a lot. But now that you understand this stuff, you can go and make the same thing. Again, this is a good metric to have. Focus on the thong, focus on the posture. I mean, just make sure you have this sign that you're doing stuff well, and after that, yeah, just do the right stuff. So go for it, man. Improve your body, improve your health, improve your life. If you need help, just book a call down below. I'll help you with this stuff and guarantee that you achieve these same results. So go for it, bro. God bless you and have a good day, man.